Pastor Bryan and CJ for the Cornerstone Update. This week it is March 25th, and our hope is just to do a quick, short video to be able to give an update on kind of the last 7 days of what we've been doing, the future 7 days, and keep everybody up to date on what's going on. So I brought CJ with me this time so that he can speak to some of the things, more particularly youth and media. And so we'll be doing that. But before we get going too much, I wanted to start off with something maybe a little fun versus just all these little details. And that is, I told CJ that we are going to ask each other 3 questions. And one of them has to be kind of serious, but the others can be whatever. So, CJ, as a guest, I'll let you go first.
Okay. What has been the most unexpected new part of your daily routine going into all this?
I guess in a very real sense, I have been able to utilize my home office more. So I've been working in less than business attire. So that has been
PJ's in the office?
maybe not.
Okay.
Nobody will know.
All right. Am I doing all 3?
No, I'll do one.
Your turn.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult has these last 10 days been on you personally?
Oh, man. So as someone who definitely likes routine and consistency, it's been pretty hard in that area because it's like what we keep saying is creating a whole new normal. That's been really hard because I'm always trying to maintain like the normal that I have. So leaving that and creating a whole new one's pretty hard.
Gotcha. So,
you said a scale of 1 to 10, didn't you? Oh, let's say
on a scale of 1 to 10, CJ.
A solid 8. Let's say a solid 8. I was getting there, and then you interrupted me.
No, I can tell you're getting there.
Okay.
My second question for CJ is, what is one new thing you do now that you did not do before you had to shelter in place?
What is one new thing now? So there's been a lot of little weird things that have been happening. One is that today I accidentally let all of our chickens out of the coop and I couldn't catch them, so I spent some time working outside to make sure that they didn't get into the neighbor's yard, which is something I would not have done.
Fascinating.
Okay.
All right. Oh yeah, you're up.
Yeah, you skipped my turn, but it's okay. What's the weirdest question that you've gotten from someone concerning the whole pandemic, maybe mixed in with religion?
Interesting.
Any like way out there kind of?
I don't think I've had any way out there questions. I have had a lot of people make comments as if because we don't meet at church right now that the devil has a hold of us or something. So I think that is the one unique question. And it's not that I don't think that there's opportunities for Satan to attack in ways like this. I'm just saying that the fact that we're not meeting here was a decision made by the elders, not Satan.
Ooh. Whew. Okay.
Oh, my last one here.
Yep.
My last question for CJ is, how long have you been working on that mustache?
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So I'm not a hairy person, so it's been a while. It's slow going.
Yeah. Okay, so a long time.
Long time.
Right.
It's not something I kept track of on the calendar necessarily, so can't give you a hard date on that. Any hidden blessings that have come out of this? Unexpected, that kind of surprised you?
Yeah, I think that our media presence, I don't know why, but I kind of thought we would go ahead and utilize the media stuff, but that it wouldn't really be used, that we would live stream things or put videos up or do, continue with a podcast or do, a mass email, and that people wouldn't really notice it, care about it, or use it. And we're seeing the opposite, that we're getting a huge response for videos like this and the Sunday sermons and the email stuff. So for me, that's probably what it would be.
Cool.
All right, well, that's it. Okay, so here we're going to get into some business now. We want these updates to help the congregation of Cornerstone to stay abreast of what's going on, also to know how to get connected into these things. And also, we want to be able to stay connected so we're be able to care for still the saints here, as well as continue to equip the saints to serve in unique ways. And so this is kind of this platform. Once a week, we're going to send out an email. Once a week, we're going to send out this video. And the hope is that we'll take advantage of these opportunities to keep Cornerstone together and hearing what's going on and people being like, well, I can do that. Let me help with that. I'll send this email out, or I can work on the Facebook here, things like that. So the first thing we want to cover just kind of what's going on and kind of past 7 days, and we'll talk about the future 7 days also. The first thing I want to bring up is that we're posting sermons online. So if you've been looking for sermons, they're out there, and we're doing everything we can to get them out there. We have our Facebook page. We'll have the video versions, as well as I think we're posting some audio versions too. We started a YouTube channel, so if you use YouTube, you can subscribe to Cornerstone Church in Ione, and CJ will talk about how to do that a little bit later. We have a website that's been up and running for years and years and years, and so if you're looking for a way to get those sermons, go to the website. They've been there for years, and they'll continue to be there. Also, our podcast, months ago we started a podcast, and just recently we got it for Android also, and so now any device that you can listen to podcasts on, essentially you can get our sermons that way too. And although we don't think that preaching is even probably the most important part of a Sunday morning service, we do still, even in a time like this, we feel there's this value for us to continue teaching and equipping through this time and not just give that up. And people have communicated they want that, and so we're trying to provide that. And it's encouraging that people still want that. The second thing we wanted to talk about really quick was just youth ministry. They're still having their Sunday morning class and still doing some things. And so I was just going to have CJ talk a moment about what is still going on youth-wise.
Yeah, so we still have our Sunday morning class going at 9 a.m. We're going through this book called Twisting Scripture, which is right here. Basically, it's just how to properly interpret Scripture, and then it takes some case studies for us to examine on where people have gone wrong in doing that. The high schoolers actually picked that out, and we're most of the way through that book now, and then we're going to be starting a study through a book of the Old Testament. So that'll be next, and what we're actually going to be doing is that's really been mostly a high school group that's been meeting over Zoom, but I think we're going to open it up to junior high and even young adults to try and bring in some of those people that are lacking in Bible studies, that don't have as much fellowship right now. Also, we are still continuing with our discipleship team, which is just a smaller group of students going through a systematic theology book, also while reading through the Bible in a year. So we've continued doing that. And the youth staff and myself are still continuing to reach out to students one-on-one, try to keep those connections going.
Right on, perfect. As far as children's ministry, we talked to Crystal today, and we have our staff meeting over Zoom. It's all those little videos, and we're having our staff meetings that way. And so Crystal, some of you guys have known this. We see this on Facebook, a lot of people commenting about it. She put together packets for all the families with kids that we had contact information for, and delivered them and mailed them out to people. And so that is a way monthly you'll get a packet, and you're able to kind of go through some worksheets with the kids, and hopefully those worksheets turn into conversations. It's not just homework for them, but as we go through it, have those conversations with the kids about the Bible stories, what they mean, study the Bible together, and things like that. Today, Crystal did say that she is planning on doing this for every month until this is over. So if it's 6 months, we'll continue to do this for 6 months. If this is the last month, then you got your last packet. And but our hope is that we're still engaging families that have kids, helping them dive into the Word with their kids there too. Another thing we want to bring up is that we are hearing needs. A lot of people talk about, the church, are they still active right now? And I just want to communicate what we're doing so Cornerstone people know that we are still doing things. And if you're wanting to get involved in somehow, even though kind of face-to-face stuff we can't really do too much, there's still ways to be serving, and even if that's praying for people and taking on things like that. But there are prayer requests coming in, and we are praying for those people, and the ones that aren't confidential, we send out to our Cornerstone prayer and care team. We have some prayer warriors that are dedicated to that process of regularly praying for those needs, as well as reaching out and contacting you and seeing if there's anything else or any updates or any change in that prayer request. Also yesterday, CJ, Jack, Bob, and I dropped off a couple 100 pounds of food to people. The food bank really helped us out. The Amador County Interfaith Food Bank. We supplied the information they needed for who we're giving the food to, and they were able to give us that food so we could get it to those families so that they don't have to leave and expose themselves in a store. And so we dropped those off, and then we also purchased some on our own for younger families with kids, so that we could kind of keep them from going out and exposing themselves as well.
We also adjusted some TV antennas for
that is
people
true.
while we were out.
I'll see if I can throw a picture of that in this video here. There was one resident who just had a knee surgery. That's also an elder, and his name starts with T. He when I was there, I was talking to him about a family that needed food, and he had me up on his roof in a matter of minutes adjusting his cables.
You got to get that channel 13.
Yeah, he needed 3 and 13, and it was a battle to see how that would end. But we got him his channels for him so he can enjoy his TV. Also, we got some people some Bibles actually that we're looking for, the specific translation and also a certain size print. And then also, obviously, our small group leaders and us, we've been reaching out to people with our cell phones, texting them, calling them, and email, just making sure everybody's doing all right and if there's any needs. Because we know how some of you are. Some of you may have a need, but you don't want to ask for it. So we're gonna find you if you don't come to us. And another thing, our small groups are a huge part of what we're doing right now, because CJ and or I cannot meet the needs and continuously stay in contact with 150 people. But our small group leaders can continue to check in with their small groups and add a couple people to that list. And so our small group leaders, they're really in the trenches with us too, as far as reaching out and staying in contact with each of these people, making sure that needs are met, and we're praying for people, and if people have needs, that we're able to meet those. So our small groups are meeting in that way, not face-to-face. And then also, as far as their normal small group curriculum or whatever series they were in or however they typically did their small group, there's still different ways that they're doing that. So if you would like to get involved into a small group, and maybe you've experienced now that we're not meeting Sunday mornings, you feel a little bit of a need for a small group, you can contact CJ or I. Our information's on the website. Also, the church phone number is 209-274-4131. Give us a call. We'll get you plugged into a small group, and so that relational capacity is being met there. Also, our small groups leaders, our small group leaders are doing a lot, and they're having to make a lot of decisions. So I would just ask that everybody watching, if you could be praying for our small group leaders and our church staff as well. It goes far beyond CJ and I, and so be praying for them. That'd be tremendous. We'd really appreciate that. And CJ is going to take this one again. As far as one of the things we want to cover is how to get connected, right? Things have changed a lot, and there's a bunch of different ways to get connected. And so CJ is kind of the our guy as far as how to get connected to those those different media sources and things like that. So he's going to speak to a couple of those.
Okay, so we've got several ways to stay connected. As I'm sure you've picked up by now, we're a heavily digital ministry right now. So to stay connected, you'll have to dive into at least one of these. So we're on Facebook. That one is kept really well up to date. We've got a volunteer that is just killing it at that. And from Facebook, you can find our website. From Facebook, you can find Instagram. You can find our YouTube channel there. So Facebook is a great place to start. But you can also go straight to our YouTube channel, to Instagram. You can go to our website, where we actually have an entire page on there right now with all the information about coronavirus and where Cornerstone's at with that stuff. If you want just our audio sermons, you can find our podcast, and that's on Apple Podcasts and Android podcast services. You can email us. Both of our emails are on the church website, and our phone number, which I'll just give it to you now, is 209-274-4131, just for anyone who's listening and needs that number. That's the church's number, and we get those voicemails. We check it on a pretty regular basis. So those are great ways to stay in contact with us. If you need help getting signed up with one of these accounts, if you don't have one already and don't know how to do that, you can contact me, and I would be more than happy to help set you up so that you can stay connected with your Cornerstone family.
Perfect. As far as what's to come, here's a couple things on that. We are trying to do weekly updates in 2 ways. We have a mass email service we're using now, as well as these videos that you're watching right now. We want to do this once a week, so that through video and through email, we can provide these updates. And those will be right around Wednesday. Also, our Sunday morning sermons, some people have asked when our plan is to post those. Our plan to post those is 9 a.m. We did have a little bit of a hiccup getting our last video up. It ended up being at like 2 p.m., but that's because my computer melted on the table. So we should be in a better situation for this Sunday. So the Sunday sermon should be posting at 9 a.m. We have a YouTube account, like you'd be talking about, that we're posting to, and then also we'll be posting those to Facebook. We have communion coming up on April 5th, and I know that I haven't received any questions, but I'm assuming eventually I'll be getting questions on what are we going to do about that. And we are currently working on a way to make communion possible for the people that attend Cornerstone Church and typically take communion here. And so we'll be updating you on that as well. We will be doing a Good Friday podcast, a Good Friday video series. So although I do not believe we're going to be able to meet on Good Friday, we're still going to do, just as we post Sunday morning sermons, we're going to do something similar, maybe a little bit more artsy for the Good Friday service. And so that'll be posted as well. And then CJ and I have decided that we're going to do a sunrise service. You're not invited to come because that's illegal, but we are going to go, and our hope is to prepare a video sunrise service at sunrise on a hill somewhere, and so kind of bring that service to you guys. And that will be posted at 6:32 a.m. on the 12th, which should be sunrise. So with that, in closing, I hope this helped us get connected, hear what's going on, look into the future about what's going on, a couple of things coming up. Also, if you are in need of anything, if you need some food, if you need somebody to go to the grocery store for you, we have people that are willing to do that so that the higher risk can stay at home. We're just trying to do our part there, but you got to let us know, okay? And a good way to do that is just Bryan, Bryan, at cornerstoneion.org. Or any of the email or contact information on our website will get you to the right people, okay? But you got to let us know. So we love and care for you, and until next time, set your minds and hearts on the things above, all right? We love you.